With a spark and a flash, I ignite. Ampamine here, coming at you with some more Payday 2 on the road to Crimefest news. We've got some pretty good stuff today, a lot of ground to cover, so let us not dawdle. Today is October 10th, and this is the last challenge update of the road to Crimefest as far as I know. So there might be some sort of surprise that Overkill throws at us later on, a little ways down the line, but as for now, this is the last challenge update that everybody can actually see and knows about. So barring any crazy changes by Overkill, then yeah, last challenge. The new challenge for all 4 heisters is to get 5 million card loot drops, and this one, super duper incredibly easy. Basically, this just means that people need to complete 5 million heists, or I suppose, assuming that every heist has a full team of 4, and I'm not misinterpreting it, then whatever 5 million divided by 4 is 1,250,000 heists. So, yeah, really easy. You don't even have to do anything for it. Just get in there, do a couple of heists, and you have contributed to the overall success of the road to Crimefest. Now, to the meat of everything, newly completed challenges. Chains had his challenge for completing 25,000 Go Bank heists with the Car 4 AK rifle completed, I believe, early yesterday. And the reward for that is the upgraded trebuchet. It's the description: with an upgrade, it's even deadlier. Now, this one could mean a lot of things, all of which I'm kind of excited for. Heavy ballistics, some sort of squad automatic weapon, or a medium machine gun. That would be awesome, because the LMGs are fun, but I like heavy firepower. I like having it, and I like having more of it available. Honestly, heavy, hard calibers, and really big guns, I am all for that. So yeah, there also might be some crazy involvement with siege weaponry, and if that's the case, I definitely look forward to seeing what Overkill is going to do with that. I don't know, maybe we're laying siege to some sort of fortified FBI bunker or hideout? I don't know. But regardless of where they go with that, it's a trebuchet. How could they go wrong with a trebuchet? Answer is they can't. They just can't. Well, I suppose that if they really wanted to and tried, they could go wrong with it, but generally if they follow that theme, there's really not much of a way that they could go wrong. Anyhow, Change's second challenge that has been completed was to complete 2,500 Watchdogs heists with a personal accuracy of 70% or better. And yes, this one went down fast, just like I predicted. It's one of those ones where it took a little doing, but 2,500 heists is not that many, so it did not last long at all, as I expected. And the reward is excuse me, everybody. Resistance to cold +1. With the description: put on head, feel warm. So this is another interesting one. So I was thinking it might involve a heist where they were in a snowy area, perhaps related to Vlad, and the thing that popped into my mind was possibly taking a trip to Siberia, which would be awesome, because there's a lot of old Soviet stuff way out there, and some of that might be pretty interesting to a gang of masked clown heisters. Or it might mean some sort of new resistance mechanic that they're adding in, because, I don't know, they might have some sort of bullet or explosive resistance, making damage more granular for all of the heisters, or making damage more granular for everybody, including the law enforcement and the heisters. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting way that they could take this sort of theme. And lastly, the thing that came to mind was perhaps some sort of area denial. So, having some sort of extreme cold setup where you can basically use the mechanics that they have with the slow-burning gasoline where you can basically just block off entire areas. And I think that would be pretty cool to actually be able to utilize, just moving something incredibly cold around, something basic, something like liquid nitrogen, because the cold would be extremely uncomfortable just in ambient temperature, but you also have some sort of you're basically suffocating them. If the air is practically entirely nitrogen, then they're going to die. They're getting no oxygen. It's bad. So that could be a really neat sort of mobile area denial, and I would be A-okay with that. Now, Clover had 3 of her challenges completed in the interim between now and my last video. The first is the Eliminate the Rat and Hoxton Revenge Heist 40,000 times challenge. And yeah, that was an easy one. And the reward is riot gear with a description, "Not the face!" And just, please, 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 better armor. Please, please be better armor. I love heavy, tanky builds. Honestly, the Enforcer is the tree that I keep coming back to again and again and again and again and again, because the survivability of the ICTV is just so amazing. And when you combine it with the muscle perk deck, regenerating health on top of a massive bonus to your maximum health is just, so great. It's really, really, really hard to bring down if you go with that setup, and you're pretty effective at a lot of different things. If you go into the technician tree, like I usually do, to grab bulletproof, then you also have, a bunch of trip mines that you can use, and I usually take the shaped charge ability, which lets you blow open doors or safes, non-Titan safes, I should say. So it's pretty versatile and really, really effective. So I will totally hope that they've got some new super armor coming down the line. I would hug somebody at Overkill if that happens. But I was also thinking that it may indicate some sort of new unit. So since it's riot gear, they might be introducing a new shield enemy that's either exactly the same or modeled closely after the new super shields that accompany Captain Winters. And these shields are already in the game, so they might just be starting to, they might just say, all right, we'll throw in the super shields on Overkill and Deathwish difficulty, say, just to mix things up and, make things a little more difficult and a little more challenging for people. And I would be okay with that, truthfully. It's crazy riot gear it makes sense when you've got 1.5 bajillion bullets and Molotov cocktails and Lord knows what else being flung at you. I think that a really, really heavy-duty steel riot shield is probably something that's good to have. So Clover's second challenge that was completed was the Help Vlad's brother-in-law into the escape chopper 20,000 times in the White Christmas Heist challenge. Now, the reward for that is very interesting, and it's unlike any other reward that we've seen. The reward is 3 masks with the description, "They seem to be in a specific order." And the masks are positioned in a line, and largest to smallest is Dallas's mask, Chain's mask, and Wolf's mask. This one, I've got pretty much nothing. I have no clue what this means, and speculation for this one is a little bit pointless, since it could mean any of 8 bajillion different things. So the likelihood that you or I are actually going to, pinpoint and actually, discover what this means before release is pretty slim. So this one, I'm just going to kind of leave alone. Clover's third completed challenge for today is the Convert 80,000 Law Enforcers to Your Side with a Joker Skill challenge. And the reward for this one is just absolutely baffling to me. It's an old award with a description, "Part of your Hollywood glamour." And I have no idea what to make of this. Truth be told, I don't know if it's referring to some of the awards that Overkill has won for Payday 2, because I believe that they got a golden joystick at some point, I think 2 years ago, for best co-op multiplayer game. I believe. That's one that I'm going to have to double check, but I believe they did get a golden joystick for that game, so it might be referring to that in some crazy oblique sort of way. But apart from that, I got nothing for you guys. I'm sorry. Well, moving along, we also have Dallas's completed challenge. Kill 250,000 shields with a shotgun. I liked this one. The reward is the perfect disguise with the description absolutely perfect. And the actual, like, visual portion of the reward is just a set of Groucho Marx glasses with the big nose and the mustache. So, yeah, that's one that I am very, very interested to see what they actually do with it. And the immediate thing that I thought of, and probably a lot of other people thought of too, was that there's going to be some sort of new heist, where there's a disguise mechanic, which is pretty cool, because there's, as far as I understand, and nothing is coming to mind, I just want to couch this in, I'm not entirely sure, because I know that I'm probably forgetting some heist in, the original Payday the heist. But as far as I know, there's nothing where you actually impersonate any sort of law enforcer, or basically you don't impersonate anybody in actual physical form in any of the Payday games, as far as I understand. You, of course, impersonate people whenever you answer a pager in Payday 2, but you never actually physically disguise yourself. So this might be some sort of heist where it's stealth-based and you actually have to hop through different disguises to be able to complete the heist in stealth, which I think would be pretty freaking awesome. Or it might just be an overall disguise mechanic for stealth missions to make infiltration easier. For example, you might have on the day one of Framing Frame, or the art gallery heist, they're the same thing, you might be able to steal a guard's clothes and just kind of walk around and tag guards and let the other heisters, let your fellow heisters know what's going on with relative impunity. And I think that would be super cool, because it's basically a spotter perk, where you can actually get everything down on the ground immediately, and, you don't have to deal with weird camera positioning, or, sometimes you've just got a guard or two, you just can't find them on the cameras. They're in a blind spot somewhere, and you have no clue where they are, and you want to know where they are. Because, the second that you don't know where a guard is, your chances of accidentally bumping into one and having to answer a pager after you shoot them in the face reflexively, it just skyrockets. Way high. So I think that would be pretty freaking neat. And lastly, Houston had two of his challenges complete. The first is complete 250,000 heists on Death Wish difficulty. Yep, that one finally got done. And the reward is a fourth vintage meme. And it's the lol face, and the description is, "You're not actually laughing out loud, are you?" And at this point, I'm pretty sure it has to be a mask set, because there are 4 vintage memes released, and all of them are faces of some variety. So that's, I'm pretty sure that this is just going to be a set of 4 masks based on memes that they release, which, I'm alright with. I tend not to care about the masks too much, but hey, variety. I like variety even if I don't care about the mechanic all that much. So, yeah, I'm okay with this one. And lastly, the final challenge for Houston, complete 20 Crimefest challenges, has been met. And the reward is a blueprint with the description, "It seems to be a plan of some sort." And interestingly enough, the description of the challenge that Overkill wrote is got changed a little bit with this one, and it's a quote, I'm assuming from Bane, that goes, "I got Vlad on the line." And yeah, this is very, very, at least I feel, very heavily hinting towards a new heist involving Vlad somehow. And there are a few other things that directly reference, directly or indirectly reference Vlad. For example, the Sputnik unlock earlier on, and the right gear, there's a mention of it being from Ukraine. and Vlad is Ukrainian, so yeah, I can practically guarantee that there's going to be some sort of new heist at this point. And that's all of the challenges, as far as I know. You know, we've covered all of the previous challenges and the challenges that are up ahead. So yeah, that's, again, unless something changes that nobody knows about, except Overkill, I suppose, but nobody outside of Overkill knows about yet. You know, barring that, yeah, all of the challenges, which is awesome. So looking ahead, we've only got 2 challenges left to complete. The first is the Payday 2's CrimeNet overload thing, and that's going to be an interesting one, because Reddit organized a big thing. I believe it was our Payday the Heist, and they organized basically everybody get on at the same time sort of meeting on Wednesday, October 7th, and that's, from what I understand, that didn't really go all that well. But they did set, I believe they set the current record, which is at about 15,000 heisters being online at the same time. So, Overkill actually responded to, I don't know if they were actually related to the Reddit event or not, but Overkill responded to someone on Twitter saying that they were actually going to give the Payday 2 community some help. And exactly what that help is, nobody knows quite yet, but a lot of people, myself included, are just assuming that they're going to open up Payday 2 for a free weekend this coming weekend. So whether or not they actually do that, it remains to be seen. It's still fairly early in the day on Saturday, October 10th, so they might still be able to pull something out of their hat, but if it was a free weekend, they would almost certainly have started a little bit earlier. And I haven't heard anything about Payday 2 going on free weekend quite yet, and I've been keeping an eye on things. But yes, everything else, truthfully, is just, it's done. It's complete. It's cool, honestly. And yeah, apart from the 30,000 people online at the same time and the 5 million loot drops, everything else is done. Dunskies. Yeah. It's gonna be good. We've got a lot of content to be that we unlocked, and it's gonna be interesting to see where Overkill takes it and how they release it and what they're gonna do during Crimefest proper. So yeah, that's about it. Honestly, I am looking forward to seeing what Overkill's going to do. I have every expectation that it's going to be pretty good. Now, Overkill has, in the past sort of hyped things up and kind of had things be a little bit of a letdown before, so I'm not getting my hopes super duper duper incredibly high, but everything that they've done in this Road to Crimefest event has been really remarkably well done. They've obviously put a lot of effort into everything behind this. So, I'm not, ultra mega super uber hype, but I'm looking forward to seeing how things are going to turn out. I'm definitely going to be trying to see if we can't finish off that last challenge of getting 30,000 people online at the same time, because that's the only one remaining that's actually going to prove any sort of challenge. Because again, 5 million card drops is absolutely nothing. Honestly, if that's not done in a day, I will be extremely surprised. But apart from that, yeah, that is it for this session. Thank you all very much for watching. As always, I appreciate it. And this has been me, Ampamine, coming at you with some more Payday 2 and the Road to Crimefest news. And I will catch all of you on the flip side.